Well, howdy, y'all. Welcome to another lit episode of the High Voltage Live Show. I'm your host, Willie Snyder from Nat King Code, coming to you live from the Mile High City in Denver, Colorado. Joined by my awesome co-host, Mr. King James Stallcup, creator and author of the Stallcup Electrical Education online website. And, man, I'm blown away. I've been on there doing a bunch of stuff. It's looking really awesome, sir. I give you kudos. Big ups to what you done there. I really like it. It's real interactive, and I pretty much did everything I could do in there. And like I say, I knew you were gonna come square on those code changes you owed me. And like I say, you came through. You got them squared up. You got David squared up. Welcome in, David Engelhart. Happy New Year, sir. And big ups to you, Mr. E, Electrical Wizardry in the house. So. Awesome for joining us.
Also, Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Happy New Year.
Anna Hook'em Horns New Year. My bracket's still alive, so.
It's alive because Notre Dame won.
Yeah, Notre Dame and Texas. Texas would have lost. I've been over too, so.
I tell you, it's been a good week of football, man. It's been, God dang. I mean,
yeah.
I think Penn State, Notre Dame, I think that's going to be a smash mouth game, and I think Ohio State and Texas is going to be smash mouth. I tell you, by the time you get to the championship game, I'm telling you, there's players entering that game, they're sore. I mean, Notre Dame's going to be sore after this because they just played Georgia. I mean, it really tests the will of those college players, man.
It gets you really tired running 97-yard touchdowns, so we'll see.
We were talking about it. I said Texas gonna be sore. I said, hell, that Scatterboo, man. I mean, he's a big, strong runner, and Texas popped him all game long, man. He still kept coming back. I mean, hell, he was throwing up on the sideline. Texas was hitting him so hard, but he kept fighting in there. And I can tell you, those Texas players are going to be sore after that too, because I mean, that's a big guy to tackle. I think he's going to do good in the pros. I like Scatterboo.
True. I agree. Well, I really appreciate it. I'm sorry for all the people that were looking for a myth of the week. I didn't do a myth of the week this week. I didn't do a code question. Next year, I'm gonna get back to the 2023, trying to get King James on his own questions, and I think I'm gonna get you. Like, I think I'm gonna put some ones in there that you don't know, and like I say, it's a shame that Pops makes the quizzes because I might get you sleeping. You might not know all of them in there, so. We'll see, everyone, just so you know, I post a question in the podcast and try to catch James sleeping so he doesn't have no book off the top of his head. And, like I say, I try to make it like multiple choice so everyone can jump in and try to answer it. But it's a lot of fun to try to get you. And I've gotten you a couple of them, So.
I think you got me on 2 out of around 400 of them now.
No, I was like more like maybe like I think I'm only at question of the week like number 70 or 80 or something. Like, I don't think I'm up there that high, but I haven't hit the hundreds yet. I know that, but it's a lot of fun. And like I say, I always tell a bunch of guys at the job site, and I'm getting people interacting with us, and it's pretty funny. I always get like all these little stories to tell people.
Oh yeah.
Like one of the things I got a funny story from fantasy is one of the guys in the league, he actually lost a game because the quarterback kneeled it victory formation and lost him 0.2 of a point, and he lost by 0.2 of a point.
Golly.
So, like, some of that stuff you gotta like be really glad. Like, I always try to be at least a little bit, 2-3 points ahead before the end of the game like that. But yeah, that's a crazy way to lose. And so just so everyone knows, I'm a champion. fantasy football champion of the Rhino League, Chatter League. So that was
I
pretty
watch
awesome.
Monday. He'll be cooing Monday.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like I say, we're not here to talk about football. We're here to talk about electrical, and I guess let's go ahead and run the meme of the week.
All right.
That's like my favorite one, and it's so funny because like we always joke around about like trying to get good help, and it's really hard because there's a lot of guys that aren't real good at training apprentices, and that's kind of why we do this show so that we could kind of get our message out there, and like people can ask questions because that's the biggest thing I notice about like social media is a lot of the apprentices are like scared to ask questions, and like there's a lot of journeymen out there that are really harsh, and a lot of foremen out there that are just like, dude, there was one foreman that I worked with, and we were both basically equal. I was a foreman, he was a foreman, but he would always try to get the apprentices that work on stuff energized.
Yeah.
And I was like, he ever tries to get you to do that, you call me, I'll come out there, and I'll set him straight. I was like, you're not working on stuff energized. And he like wanted them to get shocked. He's like, oh yeah, they should get shocked. They have to feel it. They have to know it. I was like, no, they don't. I was like, they should be working electrically safe work condition, and that's not cool. And all the apprentices would call me up, and I'd come over there, and I'd be like, all right, what is it? And half the time he was trying to do something stupid, like have him put in an outlet where it was an exit sign or something, and I'm like, dude, that's freaking 277 volt, man. Like, and I'd be like, why are you trying to get him to put an outlet on 277 volt? And there's different stuff where he just didn't know what he's doing, and luckily I would show up and be like, nah, dude. And I was like, for one, here's the circuit breaker right here. I'd have my tracer on me. And I'd be like, yeah, there's shut it off. Go put the outlet in. Okay, cool. Turn it back on. How hard was that? So that's kind of the thing what I like to do. I like all my apprentices to be working electrically safe work condition. And I think that's a lot of when you have apprentices that, don't know what they're doing. It's just because they're scared to ask the questions, and they work under foremen that just want them to do like a task from, they say, all right, I want you to do this, then come get me, and a lot of the things you could be like, well, you still got to take the trash out, right?
That's right.
And so it's a lot of it's common sense and stuff. So I try to get that apprentices to like think for themselves, and big shout out to the Spy Kid Ninja little girl. She came on the job site, and they're like, yeah, she's been doing it for like a week or something. And I was like, start taking that light apart. She's like, I don't know how. I was like, well, start taking the bulbs out. And I sat there and showed her how to take the lamps out, take the cover off, how to like take the all the stuff apart, and then take the lens off, and you know what I mean? It's like all the little steps. It's like, then you got to take it out of the box. Then you have to put the new one in. Then you have to wire it, And I was really proud because, like, by the end of it, she was able, I could just say, yep, change that light out. Yep, change that light out. Yep, change that light out, And it was kind of cool. And I would just go kill the breaker and make sure it was electrically safe work condition. And she was jamming them out. So it was pretty cool to see that kind of response from somebody that is like new in the trade and just wants to learn, because it's really hard to get like the younger generation to they like typically don't want to learn, and the thing is it's like we want to teach, like that's what it's about, teach people how to do it. And so and it's awesome having like guys like David Englehart in here, Plans Examiner from Florida. And he's looking forward to the death match, and I'm sure that David
Yes. You can be doing it and then come back. It'll have the time already clicked off whatever you were on, and it'll save all the questions that you already done up to that point and everything. If it doesn't, let me know. It should though. I think I clicked everything correctly.
Yeah, so you'll have till the end of the month, David. So you'll have all the way till end of January, and then once January's over, then whatever your score will be registered. So, um, yeah, so you'll have. Was it at an hour that you did, or half an hour?
The first set's an hour. The I didn't do any real hard calculation questions. I mean, if you know calculations, you're going to be able to go through it pretty good. And
All right.
probably about the first 4 months, they'll be pretty basic. I mean, stuff you can look up quick, but gradually it'll get hard. And once I get into like the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th month in there, we'll start getting in, like I'll have where you calculate for the breaker size for an x-ray machine. We'll see what you really know. Y'all gonna be like, hell, I've
Yeah.
never even seen that calculation. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of guesses on it, but you know, uh, that's what makes it great because I'm gonna put stuff on there. It's really gonna push the limit when we start getting later down in their calculations, and that will really test your metal right there. And depending on the calculation and everything, I'll probably set it up to where it could be an hour and a half to 2 hour test. Depending on how hard I think the questions are, and but
Well, we
that's the
might as
good
well
thing.
just roll the topic because that's what we're talk about anyway.
Oh yeah. Well, we're going to take a look. I'm going to put it on the screen. I'm going to share the screen here for everybody to look at. And I've got everything set up. I have been working very, very hard on all of this. And one of the things I do want to point out that y'all are going to see that we've decided here uh, when you come in, also have an affiliate site here. If somebody wants you contact me, let me know. It'll give it to you and let you sign up. But if I'll probably contact you if I don't know who you are and see if I will allow that. But anybody that really wants to become an affiliate and work with it and everything, you can make a 20% commission on everything that you sell. Through the January 31st, I got 50% off on everything. When you go there, it'll have the 50% off coupon code and all that good stuff. Now, one of the cool things that we're going to do is right here. Uh, y'all hadn't seen this yet, but what this
Yeah,
is,
and I did want to give a big shout out to all the people that bought stuff through my Nat King Code affiliate link. That was freaking awesome. So
yeah, it's one of the things that we're going to do here is there will be three different levels that'll be set up. You got the bronze, silver, and the golden package. Now, the bronze package, what it is it's just the publication with all the interactivity and everything. Okay. And you still get the learning path on the side that you can go through and all that. And you also got the discussion tab. You can link in with other people on the site. And then the silver package is where you'll have the publication there still too. But what I'll add, it'll have an online course. But the only thing that will be on there that's different is you'll have the text from the publication, and then you'll have the illustration where you can click through the the illustration, the sections, and all of that. And then when there's calculations in certain courses, you can actually go in and work the calculation online, especially in the calculation courses. So
nice.
that'll be one that's there. And then the golden package is exactly the same thing as the silver. The only thing that will be different there is we will add a video that's in there where we do all the explaining. And through that video, it'll sell, like if I'm doing a calculation and we're filling in the blanks, for instance, it'll self-populate, and we'll be explaining, giving tips and things like that. And anywhere on that video, you can click through the sections and everything, and it'll stop the video. So there's going to be 3 levels, and the reason we did that because some may just want the publication, some may just want the illustration that they can click through and work problems and do things like that, and then some want the explanation given to them. So,
Right.
but I will say this: when you do, and I'm working on it right now, I'm getting the 2023 code changes ready because I'm going to be submitting to the states. And when you take a state update license, it will automatically include the video because the video is set to where you cannot stop the video. You can click through sections and stuff, but the video, it'll stop, but you can never go backwards or forward on it. There's
Nice.
no search bar, nothing. And the reason that is because I use the video as my tracking. So in other words, what that means is if I have a 3-minute and 10-second video, I know that time is used right there, and that gets submitted to the state. So I keep adding each one of those videos up until, say, you've got 24 hours in Colorado. There will be 24 hours of video that's there that the state says, yeah, this is tracked. We know they had to set through the whole thing for 24 hours before they could get their certificate of completion for the course. So
Yeah, and you don't have to like make excuses why I was gypped. Like I think it was like 27 code changes for 2020, but like I say, it was the whole reason that I wanted you to kind of do the NEC Deathmatch was because I actually enjoyed the 2020 continuing education class that you did, and the way you had it set up. I thought I really learned a lot, as well as just get compliance with my state.
Right.
So to me, that was the whole drive. That was the whole mission behind Nat King Code and behind me trying to kind of push a lot of stuff, because I wanted that kind of like I wanted people to be able to like learn the code at kind of their own pace and kind of in a fun way where it was like not really like forced down your throat.
Right.
And I thought you kind of had that approach too, and I think that's when you get into like the silver and the gold package is those guys who are like instructors and people that are pretty big time in the industry and want to like teach at a high level, and they're able to do it with that silver and that gold package to where
Sure.
you have all the resources you need at your fingertips, and you don't have to like work so hard at your job as a teacher.
Well, and that's a good point because right when you get here and you look at the courses, and when you go to the homepage, I provided a link to go straight to it, but you can come right here to free. And when you come here, you're going to see right now I have available for you. You can pick up the 2023 Electrical Codes and Standards publication. And the reason I did that because I wanted to show you a chapter that if you're wanting to buy a publication, you can go in there and see what you have available to you. And the same thing I did here because I'm getting a lot of calls from instructors. So what I wanted to do was also put a free one here for the instructors. And I'm going to show you something here. If I click on that, when you come down here, you can just start here as continue, or you can scroll down. It's always going to take you to the landing page. And right here, you'll see we have a thing where we collect student information, things like that. But you got your publication here, then you've got your presentation. And then as an instructor, if there's something you're interested in, you can send me a trial request here. And then after you go through, you can give us a course evaluation. Basically, if there's something you'd like to see us try to do. We always keep everything here so we know what's going on. And you can even gift a course to somebody here if you want to. But what I want to show here is the presentation. So when you come over here, you've got everything here on the left side. As an instructor, this is what you have here. So I'm just going to go up here to the top because I want to give a good look at this. So this is the intro slide. So if you're teaching this, you can have your students there that are looking at the publication, but you've got the full illustration you're teaching from. And say you're looking at this, these are all the topics for the illustrations we have. And let's just hypothetically, let's just say that you left off on chapter 4, explaining what chapter 4 is. So you're just going to click here. It's going to take you to chapter 4, and you've got an illustration here that you're going in explaining what chapter 4 is about. This is a good example here. We've got a lot of sections and everything for you to look through. And
is that one about motors?
Always motors. Sometimes I call them minotaurs.
I know, that's funny. I just wanted to give a big shout out to, we got 4 over on the Rumble side watching, so appreciate you guys jumping in over on the Rumble side. Feel free to hit your comments. I got my buddy over there checking it.
I can tell you from without doubt, I've already getting contacts from different people that are calling and messaging me and stuff. I have a feeling this is going to be a very big thing that's about to take place. But one of the things, just to give you an idea here is one where you can do a trial request if you're an instructor. And right here, you can put your name in, email address, and right here, you can come in, just select from all the different courses here that you're interested in. And if there's something you're wanting to see us add in the future, we may have somebody come in and say, hey, we would like you to get the electric sign and outline lighting publication. It's sign people. All you got to do is just put it in here. Let us know, because we do have that publication. It eventually will be coming, but there could be something else that you're interested in you'd like to see us do a publication on. And then we have the course evaluation here. So you can click right here on this tab and it'll bring it up, and we have a full thing here, how you rate it and all this. And it's just a quick little thing of what you think of the course. It doesn't even take you any time to do it. And we ask you, like right here, we ask you how was interactivity, not only from the publication itself, but here on the left-hand side for the learning activities here. So when you're looking at this, to give you an idea, let's say that I click on the publication here. Now, this is a full publication, but right here, we've got this set up, and I'll show you another one, what I'm talking about. But right here, here's them chapters. So if we're in chapter 4, like we were talking about, here's the text, and here's the illustration that the student is following. But now, over here on this learning path here, and you've seen me show this before, and I'll go back and show it in a little bit, but we can have individual chapters over here. So it helps you get through the publications quicker to find the information you need, and I'll show that in just a minute. Then we also have here where you can gift a course right here, and all you got to do is just put your name in, address, all of that, and who's the gift recipient and their email address, and whatever course you want to pick. And we even ask you if you want to enroll them immediately or if it's self-enroll. So we give, I've thought of everything here, I think, but
not really everything, but I've had a lot of requests from people to put together stuff for like the NISAT. So just so you know, I'm a licensed NISAT fire alarm. I have my NISAT 2. So, that's something I could kind of help King James put together, and we could kind of maybe do a joint venture on, like, if somebody wants to do, like, NFPA 72, then we could put together some courses on NFPA 72, or, whatever. Like, the sky's the limit. Like, he just has, like, the backbone of the learning management system, and that's what we were kind of going for, and especially with putting together the Deathmatch.
Yeah, and I'll show a couple of things on that in just a second. But what I want to show is like this one here. Here's one that I have for my instructor level. And I don't have all that other stuff built. It's just on the first one. But if you look right here, see how I have all these chapters and I do them by the parts and everything. So if I come in and let's just say, I just want to look at this and I'll just click. Right over here, you'll see we have all the parts here. Or I can take and I can say, you know what, I just want to go look at motors here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this here and say I wanted to look at overcurrent protection for individual motors. So it automatically will take you to the chapter if you don't want to be in the full publication. And then you can come right over here and here's your chapter start right here, an intro to it. And then you can go pick up your individual stuff here. So if I wanted to say, I wanted to size overcurrent protection devices allow the motor to start or something like that, all I have to do is click. Here it comes in and here's all the information. Then we start showing you all the calculations. And as you can see, there's tons of sections here. We give you NEC loops here for sizing the overcurrent device. And then we show you the steps in order to perform that calculation. So I feel like just on this alone, I've given all kinds of options for very quick, efficient, fast to get to the information you need as quickly as possible. And then I also have here, this is the learner tab. Anybody you want to connect in here, you gifted one. I mean, y'all can all link in here and be together. And then here's your discussion tab where you can do any discussions you want. Okay.
Okay.
So
basically, all your students will have the PDF version, and then you would have like, would the instructor have the publication or just the?
No, he has the
PDF?
publication too, and I'll show that real quick one more time. If you look right here, and I'll do that same one. So here is the publication. So let me go back here and I'll show you. Like right down here, see where it says presentation? Okay, I'll just say I'm looking at motors here. Now, right here is the publication and everything, but he has the exact same chapters and everything if he wants to look at this. Okay, but he also has the presentation here. So, and this is part one. So watch, I've got it set up by chapters here. All right. So I come in here and I was looking at that. I was dealing with overcurrent protection for individual motors. So I'm going to click right there and then I'm going to scroll here and look right there. There's all my stuff. So we got into sizing the overcurrent device. So I'm going to go there and there's my illustration. And then this is the calculation that goes with it. So he has this whole presentation here ready to go as students have access to everything. So
basically he'd be presenting this like off his like laptop or something.
Sure.
And like screen sharing it to the room, and then they could be following along with the PDF. Sure.
Think of it this way. He can have his own Zoom account that everybody goes to or whatever they use, Google Connect or whatever. And all he has to do is like what I'm doing here on the streaming software. All you're doing, I could have people that are on here watching and they can actually come back through that discussion tab and we can go back and forth and we can text messages back and forth and everything. But yet I can also bring them on and see them in person if I want, like you and me are on here.
Right.
Okay. So I'm basically setting it up to where you can do everything at home if you want to.
That's pretty cool.
Now, this here, where we go to free right here, you will see that we have a practice exam for the NEC Deathmatch, and then we have the January questions. I'm just, matter of fact, I'm going to do something right here. I want to get back to the main page here. There we go. So here's the January questions when you go over. This is the link I take you to right here. Okay. And when you come over here and you sign on and everything, you'll have all this information. Now, if you want to know the rules for this contest, you click on that, and right here are all the rules. Now, we come in, we talk about everything here. Everything is set up. Even from right here, you can get to the practice exam. these will be all the questions here as we're going through the months and everything. I will have that set up. There's just a lot of cool stuff here that's just very quick, telling you what we're going to do and everything. And as far as I'm concerned, we got it all set up, looking very nice. I think everything looks really good. But
So
uh,
I'm not trying to help anybody out win the death match, but you have to look them up. And like I've been the victim of so many of King James's little tricks that I've looked them up, I found them, I thought I was right, and I was wrong. So you have to, like, if it doesn't say it word for word, you got the wrong answer. So you know, King James is gonna try to trick you with like little words and stuff, but it's not the same as like my easy Willie quiz. It's a little trickier. You have to look it up in the code, and if you look it up and you find it, you're gonna get it right. So, like I say, he has his little tricks up his sleeves, but I'm not falling for it. I'm not letting anybody fall for it. David did fall for it. I think David was like our champion of the last round with all his 100%. But like I say, we did like a little practice round and just tried to see if we could work the bugs out. And my hat's off to you, James. You did an awesome job. Like just getting it to the way it flowed was so much better this time. You could tell that you wrote some pretty good code on as far as computer code and got it to perform kind of what we were talking about. Like people don't understand. Me and King James have been talking about this for probably 3 years, and I'm just like, yeah, that's cool, but this is kind of screwed up, or yeah, that's good, but I don't like this, and we've been kind of back and forth on it, and it's pretty awesome. King James is a good sport, and like I usually try to proofread some of his stuff. I already found a few mistakes in his new stuff, and the whole thing is, it's like I don't sit there and bash him or anything. I just, you know what, brother, you're gonna have to get me as like I'm gonna have to be like your double check. Like you're gonna have to get me as like your discount double check. Like all right, man. I'm not cheap, but might want to just double check before we put it out. But there could be a few mistakes here and there. And it's hard when King James is putting out like this size of a publication and stuff that there's gonna be like little typos and little stuff, and different things like that. But like I say, just bear with us, and we're trying to make it like the best thing that you guys have seen yet. And so far, I haven't seen anybody do anything like what we've done, and even in the last year. I haven't seen anything like it in the last year. Like starting from 2024 to 2025, hands down, it's the best.
well, and one thing I will say, uh, just the simple things. It looks so simple, but setting up all of that in there, because I have to go back when I put all those individual chapters in there. I have to go back and I have to renumber the illustrations and everything because it's for an individual chapter. So I'm running through and I'm trying to set them up to where everything is super easy, everything's efficient, it's quick. There's a lot of links there. You can get to the information you need quicker, and it takes time. It really, I was telling her, man, it's taking a while to get this together, and I said, yeah, but I want it to do certain things. I want to have something nobody's ever seen. And when they come here and they see they not only can get it cheaper, but they can go and review it and look at other providers and everything and just see if you get this type of information. And if they go the extra mile for your business.
What we might do in the future, I'm kind of looking into it. I kind of want to do like a little bit of like virtual lab kind of thing where you can learn like conduit bending and like rigid threading and different things that like are really kind of skills that we kind of need to know out there. Like you might need to just like pick up like how to use a certain type of bender, how to use a certain threading machine. And so I might actually set something up where I do like little videos in there, like hands on, and I'm trying to get that set up, and then I could just link it in there in the videos, and then we could do like kind of almost like a hands on lab kind of thing, because that's a lot of the problem I see with a lot of the education out there is that they don't teach you the hands-on stuff. And I don't fault any of the people for not teaching the hands-on stuff. It's really hard to teach the hands-on stuff that you don't know.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of people that have, texted me and complained and said, "Man, my journeyman's not teaching me how to do this." And it's like, well, yeah, they're not, because they don't know.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the things what we'll try to teach, like 3-point saddles, 4-point saddles, stuff like that. I can link some of these videos in, and I could throw in a video doing like different kinds of bends and stuff like that on different pipe. And I could show, like, use the Pythagorean theorem to do offsets, which is one of my specialties. And I'm surprised Daniel's not in here. We haven't even played the Jaws theme yet. But Daniel was I taught Daniel how to do the Pythagorean theorem on offset formula, and it doesn't matter what size pipe, and so he started doing it, and we did it on like 1 inch. And like, it's crazy because we were on this job, and there was, like, they wanted these pipes to 90 down through the ceiling. Well, they're 1 inch, and you have like an 8-inch radius, so that radius is gonna be seen through the drywall. So we had to like offset the pipe up and then 90 down, so that all you saw was the pipe coming straight down. Then you do the from to your changeover and everything, so that you don't see that radius coming through the rock.
Hmm.
And just that kind of stuff. It was like real tight ceiling. You had to offset real tight. And you see that stuff as like situational. And there's a lot of like really good journeymen out there that I work with that just don't understand the fundamentals of, it's not real hard to bend pipe. Like, you do like your offset, and then you do a 90, and then basically once you get that piece fabricated, then it's a prefab. Then all you do is just cut it and fit it.
Right.
You don't have to like be all this expert at tagging the exact dimensions. But guess who we have in here? We have Mike Barr.
Hey,
Welcome
Mike.
in, Mike Barr. Happy
Good to
New
see you,
Year,
brother.
brother.
Well,
Awesome.
one of the things that I also try to do with this is, like, when you get here, you'll see the January questions where it pushes up closer to the picture right there. That's to let you know that those questions are ready. So the February, when we get there, it'll push up towards the illustration where it says February questions. So I've tried to do little things to let you know what we've done up to this point. But
Nice.
when you get to the January questions, you just come over here and you set up, and it'll have here where you can log on, get the course for free. It'll automatically put it in your cart. You're ready to go. But when you get over here and you start to look at this, we have a thing we set up here where we welcome you to the contest, and we have a stuff that sets up telling you about it, and I've got that on some of the other things that we've done. Then you go in and you take the questions, and I'm not
Dude,
going to.
I'm telling you, I really like that red lightning. Like, that is dope. Like, and so that's another thing too. If there's something like you don't like, all you have to do is like tell me, like, message me on Knacking Code, or message me on my Willie Snyder account on Facebook, and then what I'll do is I'll put James on blast for it, and then, you know what I mean. Like you don't have to be the one to do it. I'll do it because I'm not scared. But
Yeah.
it's really funny because we have like a lot of inside jokes going, and the thing is, King James, he's a really good sport. He has really tough skin, so I'm fine with with tell them like negative criticism,
Mhm.
and that's the thing that's funny when you look at like all the other providers. Not trying to put anybody on blast, but like when you go to like Mike Holt, Ryan Jackson, like all those guys out there, when you give them criticism, like they attack you, and we're not like that, what I mean? Like we don't attack anybody, we just go in there, just do the best we can, and if you like it, cool. If you don't, whatever, you don't have to be part of the contest,
Sure.
and that's what's so much fun about doing it is that you have people that want to learn, and for example, I had some guys that were like they were kind of trash talking, and they're like, "Oh man, we're gonna get like the best score of the death match I ever saw," and it was like in like the first round when we did it, like in the practice round, and they're like, "Oh, we have this whole van full of electricians, and they're all smart, and they're all gonna get the right answers, and da da da, and we're gonna vote and everything," and they got like a 45%. I think you remember that because I think I sent
Oh
you the
yeah.
score,
I was like,
and
yeah, uh-huh.
yeah, and it's just funny because like, oh wow, you didn't even get a pass, and to me, I thought I was gonna get 100%, and I missed one, and I
Mhm.
missed the easy one, you know. So it's that kind of thing where we're all human, we're all trying to just have fun doing this, and the whole thing is you never know. I mean, it could be a first year apprentice who wins the $1,000 who just studies real hard.
That's
You
right.
know, like just because you're like an expert like me or King James doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win.
Sure. And uh, that's saying that. That's why we have like the death match feedback form here. Let us know what you think, and I put some questions in there, 1 through 5, how you thought about it, and then of course, as we always do, we go in and we do promote the High Voltage Live podcast, which I have set up in there also. Now, what I want to show here, I'm going to do one real quick here, and I want to show because I'm not going to show you the January questions naturally, so I'm going to show you the
We
practice
we
exam.
will we will have a segment, and like once it's done, we will have a segment where we actually review all the questions and go over. Like if you want your score to be published, we will publish it. But like it's just we did it before. It was pretty cool. Like I give you permission to publish my you know 80%, 90%, whatever. But did you have it set up as 80% pass?
I think it's 70%. Uh,
Okay.
it, it doesn't really matter because it's still the
Yeah.
best score. So,
Yeah.
but when you get ready, this will when you go to January, February, all the questions, it'll start just like this. Okay, you'll have Sam exam. It'll say you ready to start. You just click, and like right here on the right hand side, you'll have the timer that starts. Now, once you go through and you start taking this, you can come back and that timer will start right where you left off. Okay. If you don't
Okay.
want to do it all in one time, the January questions you have an hour to do them. There will be 20 questions and 4 calculation problems. So, if you
Nice.
take the test, I think I had 5 or 6 questions on here, so I'll just answer them real quick. And when you're looking at them, just come in here, just as you're reading them, go, okay, that looks good. That looks good there.
Hey, answer number 6 on one of them.
I need to answer something wrong here. I know what the answers are. I know that is not right. So uh, I think it's good to just sort of, I know that's 12 by 12. I'm going to answer it wrong. So I'm just going, after you're finished, you submit, and then here's your feedback report. You can see I got 3 of 6 right. Okay. So it'll pop up here. You'll see I did the first couple. I knew the answer. So I said, okay. Then I got here. I said, you know what? I need to answer the rest of these wrong. So I went ahead, answered them wrong. But the thing is you're going through this. When you look, I'm telling you the section. You can go look it up and see that I'm telling you this is right. So
True.
you can check. And then when you get the calculations, you can see right here, I go step by step with the sections. You can go look at it and see if it wasn't calculated correctly.
No,
So,
I honestly I learned from that one because I didn't know that, like, off the top of my head, I didn't know you could use a ribbed neutral in a chord for number 4 and smaller.
yep,
Like, I didn't know that was acceptable, like, and I didn't know where to really look it up either at the time. And then I went and I saw that it said look in 200, and then I was like, oh, dang it, it was right there in grounded conductor. So it was I kind of kicked myself a little bit because I was kind of overthinking it because I thought it would have been in flexible chords. I thought it would have been over in like 400,
yep.
and so that's kind of where I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a 400. So then I went and looked 400, and then I realized, well, no, chapter 2 supplements or modifies chapter 4.
No,
You know,
not chapter 2 doesn't. It's the only thing it supplements or modifies the first 4 chapters is 5 through 8.
okay,
So, but anyway, so looking at this, I want to show something here. Right here, if there's something inbox comes in or whatever, you check your account. But one of the things I like to show here is your profile, because you can come in here, you can put stuff about yourself, you can check your activity here, stuff that's been done. It shows how many hours you've been on there, how many courses, how many posts you made. I mean, it tracks a lot of the stuff because I've been on here a lot. And then you come down, here's all your courses that are listed here. So it's just a quick access, takes you to the main loading page, and then you go right on into what you're doing. Now,
can
one
you send me a message real quick?
send you a message.
Yeah, just say, thanks for hanging out at the
So right
tournament.
here's your apps where you got other students. And right here, here's Bill.
There we are.
I'll follow you here. And then I'm
All
going to
right.
click on you right here. And
Oh, David Englehart's in there. I
so
see
right
him.
here, here's contact. Right here, and I'll say, quit giving me a hard time about those 2020 2020 changes.
That's epic. Oh man, you will just love. I'm gonna actually send it to ChatGTP and have ChatGTP respond to you. All right. So David Englehart, yeah, dude, David Englehart, makes a good point. He says I thought 90.3 says chapters 5 through 7 modify 1 through 4 and 8 is on its own. I agree, David. That's 100% what
Well,
I was trying to say.
yeah, because 8 is a standalone. But what I meant there was 8. It does its own thing. There's nothing that's going to supplement or modify at that point. You got to be in the later chapters in order to do anything up front of the first 4
Yeah.
chapters.
So yeah, that is a good point though, David, because there should be ways that chapters 1 through 4 modify chapter 4. Like it's really kind of a gray area because like there's stuff in chapter 4 where you're like, wait a minute,
Well, let me
you
show you
know.
something else here. Now, one of the other thing that's is cool here also is you got your apps here where you can connect with other students, message them, follow each other, do all that stuff. I mean, that's all cool and everything. But another thing that's cool here that I like a lot is our blog page. Now, I'm slowly but surely starting at, I've gone up to 17 now. I think I was at 12 last time y'all saw me on Topic and Myth. I'm by hopefully by January, February, somewhere in there, everything that we've done this year for um, as far as the myth topic and tool of the week's concerned, they will all be on here. But you can do it here. You can go on the YouTube site, wherever you want to go. It'll all be contained in one spot. And then we
Yeah.
also,
One thing I wanted to say too is if you have um, any of the myths or anything that you disagree with, feel free to message me on Nat King Code on Facebook, and I will work through it, and I will explain it, or we'll do a follow up, whatever you want to do. Like if you have a discrepancy, you say I'm wrong on something. I have no problem going back and double backing on the myth, and getting it right and saying, oh yeah, you know what, you're right on that, whatever. So far, me and King James, we've been doing this for almost 3 years now, and there's been very little that has been like a disagreement
yeah, and one of
from
the
the
things
industry.
I also will say is we've had a lot of feedback that's been coming from doing all this stuff, and
Hmm.
I would encourage everybody just go check any other uh, providers, anything like that. I guarantee you're not going to find this kind of stuff. It,
Hmm.
this everything I'm showing y'all here that's contained with this site. There is so many hours that have been put into this to get it up to this point, and that's why it's taken so long. But uh, I just tell everybody, go review, go check, see if you're going to get this kind of information anywhere else, and
True.
and especially contain it in one site. And then I also will say, go check and compare prices for if you want a
Yeah.
publication, a course, or something. Go compare and see what the difference is. So
So my big drive for doing my segment, the myth of the week, is that there's just so many times where we'll be working in a job site and all of a sudden the inspector will be like, "You got to do this," and I'm like, "Really?" I was like, "What's the code reference?" And he's like, "Well, I think it's good," and I'm like, "Okay." That's fine that you think it's good, but show me the code reference. And most of the time will I have not had that many cases where inspectors just said, kid, like, you better do it this way, or I'm gonna fail you,
mhm.
and that's the whole thing. Like with doing this with King James. King James is an ex-inspector from the city of Grapevine, and I don't know if anyone knows this, but the city of Grapevine is actually a Christmas capital of the USA, for like a lot of Christmas stuff. I didn't know that till just a
Mhm.
few days ago, like till right before Christmas.
Back when I
But
was there, they used to have what was called Great Fest, and
uh,
well, they still have it. And I actually had to go down there on Saturdays and Sundays and make sure everything was covered up and all of that. There was no exposed electrical. The city wanted to make sure everything was up and up, and that was first time before they became famous. The Dixie Chicks. I actually met every one of them, for like
okay,
3-4 years in a row, and
okay.
I was actually there right at the backstage watching them and everything, and high fiving them when they came off the stage. So it's been pretty good. But one thing's I also want to show here, some might have forgot,
Oh,
but
dude, David, awesome, brother. Yeah, dude, dude. King James doesn't want kudos. Like he wants to just have the best, and he's done it. And David says, I see a huge amount of time
yeah, I appreciate
invested
it.
in this website, and kudos. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. Thanks for that awesome comment. Appreciate you,
Much,
sir.
much appreciate it, and tell other people about it. I appreciate that too.
Yeah.
So, I'm always trying to do something really good, but like just something as simple as this. Say I just added this on the 31st, the myth of the week, or bonding bushings required for flexible conduit. I have to come in. I have to build. this portion out and do this, but it takes me time. And let me explain something here. There's a reason I work with this learning management system.
Spoiler, they're not.
Oh, well, the this is what is interesting when you get in and you're developing stuff. There's a huge learning curve that you have to
Mhm.
go through to learn about the different systems and things you can do. But like most of them, I would say 95% of them, you go in. If I was going to show you this video, I have to take and go through like YouTube or Vimeo and provide a link. Okay.
Mhm.
With this one, they actually have their own server and everything, and that's why I pay a lot more for it. But I can
Nice.
actually load the videos up. Now,
Nice.
once I do that, then I can pull from that server so it moves quicker. So, like if I want to show, if you want to look at this video, I want you to see how fast this goes. It's already built in. Boom, you turn it on, it's ready to go.
That's
And
badass.
those are the
Because
type.
it would have to load you the link to YouTube.
Mhm. And that's why
And
I
that,
try to show people all these different things that are done. But you can go over YouTube, watch it also, but you can do it here or YouTube. You get your choice. And the other thing that we added here was the community tab. And when you come over to this community tab, I'm going to be setting up. If you want to discuss about different standards, we have those there. We got the National Electrical Code. I've got them grouped down by chapters of the code that you can look at. And then we have just a general discussion tab. Then we got all the myths and everything. So if I wanted to look at here, somebody was discussing a myth right here, I can add a comment. I can move it up,
I think
whatever.
there was I think I threw some comments in there on the myth of the week. I might have.
Yeah, you got right there. So let me get this straight. The NEC says it's a code violation to not follow the manufacturer, but the NEC somehow overrides that. Exactly. And but this is what makes good. People can come in and discuss here. It's almost like a Facebook, and you can do these. You can do the newest activity first that's in here. You can come in. You can do the oldest first. What was the oldest one I put in? It was UL listing of equipment. That was the last one I put in, or I can just do the newest first. So you can go through here and check everything pretty good.
True.
I mean it. There really is quite a bit of work that has been done just to that portion. And then another thing, I did not like the previous one, so I went in, I did a little more work, and I redid these for the states. But if you look at Colorado, I've reset this a little bit. That's much quicker to get the stuff.
Oh, look who it is, James! We got our buddy up in here, man.
Is it
Oh my
Daniel?
goodness, man!
Oh, ah,
Wow.
well,
All right.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing if the Standards Council agrees with
Yeah.
that, like I told y'all last time,
That's
because
that's
if
not true under 2023. So.
I'm just sort of curious if the manufacturer tells you not to do something and something happens, who's responsible then? You think the
Yeah.
manufacturer is going to be responsible if you say, and if I was an inspector, if the manufacturer says to do something, guess what? That's what I'm doing, because they're the ones that are responsible for that equipment. It's not the National Electrical Code. And I think when the Standards Council looks at this, I think the Standards Council is going to say, oh, wait a minute, we're not responsible for that equipment. Well, if you're going to make the statement that you override that listing and labeling, yes, you do. And if I was an expert, I'd bring the NFPA right in on the lawsuit.
Oh
And
yeah, 62554. That's gonna be rough. I don't know how they're gonna push all that through.
well, and that's why I say, but we'll see. But anyway, so I did the state of Colorado here, and I've set it up right through here. I've did some restructure of the layout pages and stuff. Everything, of course,
Nice.
that I'm doing right now, that'll be coming out here probably around, I'd say we'll probably start approvals and everything with all the different states coming in, probably right around summertime. Uh,
Dude, I really like the way it read, and I didn't see anything that you were wrong about. except the abbreviation.
Yeah, the PDU.
Yeah,
I,
but
I put I
every
put a PDU there. I saw that. I got to fix that. But
yeah, but no big deal. Like everything else was good.
we come in and we tell you exactly what they look at for the state and when the
Dude, sounds
renewals
like
come up.
Jeremy really likes that Colorado.
Well,
Oh,
and
nice.
another
Yeah, I
thing,
agree, Jeremy. That's holy crap. It's good.
when you look here at the introduction, we come in and tell you about the curriculum development we go through and the publications. It's all quick stuff, and then we show you all the options that you have here. So, we'll have everything. That stuff's going to be coming out soon. This next year, you're going to see a lot of online courses come out, and we will have another video when I finish these changes. That is going to be a good opportunity for me to go in and start showing everybody just the basic with the video and the illustrations and the sections you click through and all that. And then I'm also gonna, when I do that, I'm gonna go ahead because I've already got the 2020 version done, and I'm gonna upgrade some of the illustrations that were already done, and I'm gonna put like a little basic task together just to show the one with the fill in blanks for the calculations and how you just
Nice.
click through and fill in the values and show the answer key and all that. So
That's
we're gonna
sweet.
we're gonna have every bit of that ready to go. And then when you come over here, you look at the publication tab right here. We've got the full publications. We go in and tell you about the
Hey,
publication.
I gotta get this one, James. So Jeremy, nothing is being ignored if the manufacturer instructions say the NEC doesn't require GFCI protection. You're following the language of 110.3b by following the manufacturer's instructions. You're not ignoring any sections of the NEC. The listed and labeled equipment overrides manufacturer instructions. Manufacturer instructions overrides the NEC all day, every day, and even on Sundays.
Well, what I'll say about that is the when you look at, in order to be considered a NERDL or a QTL qualified testing laboratory or national recognized testing laboratory, OSHA puts restrictions on you. Okay, and they literally lay out in there what is required, and they
True.
tell these listing and labeling organizations, they tell them before that gets a listing and labeling, you have to follow the National Electrical Code, or it says Electrical Code and Installation Standards.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason it doesn't say National Electrical Code, it says Electrical Codes, because some of them that they do, it's like a dual, and they'll also have a Canadian Standards Association
True.
label on it. Now,
Well,
if
so you remember this one that I ran into with Ansel control panel,
mhm,
and the prince actually said to put it on GFCI, right?
mhm,
And we put it on GFCI, it didn't work
that's right.
because it has control. And what they do is they have a hierarchy. And this is what me and James are probably going to be covering a lot in 2025 is this risk hierarchy. So you're sitting there saying that your 210.8F is more important than 100 kids dying in a school because you'd rather it be on a Class A device than 100 kids dying. You know what I mean? Like, it's a risk hierarchy. It's more safer to put that controller on a thermal mag and let it not trip, even if there's like parts of the building that are melting. This will not trip because it will actually prevent other people from dying. And so you have to have this risk hierarchy, and that's what we've always been saying is the problem with this GFCI thing is that this GFCI will trip and it will cause risk to human life.
Well, the main thing is, and you've heard me say this a long time. If they wanted,
I know 210.8F doesn't apply to a school, but the whole thing is that what I'm saying is it doesn't apply to anything because it's the boat anchor code reference.
well, what I want to say when I look at things like this is, I've always believed, and as long as I've been doing it, I remember other instructors back when I was first getting started. They literally stated, whatever the listing and labeling says, that's what you do.
Yeah.
There was no other interpretation other than that from any instructors I ever listened to, and these were guys at NFPA at the time. And I think we're getting some people that are on these code making panels now that they need to do a little research and go back and see what it says. Now, what I'll say,
Because it's freaking hardwired equipment, Jeremy. And the whole thing is that there's an exception because I actually submitted a public input for this for 2026, and it says that it's only when connected to a receptacle. It's not covered when hardwired, so the outlet's not covered in a school. So that's the whole reason I mentioned that, because I gotcha.
and that brings up a point. If I'm looking at an AC unit, if you want GFCI protection on it, put it in 210.8D as a specific appliance. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they did that for other items, and now look, those are not listed in there anymore in the
Mm-hmm.
2026. I think
Mm-hmm.
they're about to have a big problem. NFPA is over
Oh, yeah.
this, and I've stated this for a long time. You know, they literally went in and put.
The whole point of Q10.8F was to start it at a dwelling unit, move it to commercial to other than dwelling unit. They wanted to move it as much as they can. And guess what? It got shut down. It's not getting moved anywhere. It doesn't even apply to a dwelling unit. So it's a boat anchor reference. Keep talking, Jeremy. Keep
Well,
talking.
what I want to say about it also is, when you look at it, you had code making panel 2 go in there and add items into 210.8D with no technical merit to do so, that there was any type of people getting hurt, injured, or anything, or even killed from not having GFCI protection in there. So now you look, the other manufacturers are standing up to code making panel 2 on these other code making panels. And now, I listened to Dimitrovich. He goes, well, we come to an agreement. No, you didn't come to an agreement. They told you they wasn't doing it. I can tell you that's what the agreement was, and that's why it's
Yeah, we
being
do
taken out.
have documentation, Jeremy. We submitted it with our public inputs for 2026, and the refrigerator and the plug-in AC units have had 0 fatalities in their existence, and that's the reason that you can just ignore the code, is what you're saying. Ignore the code. You're not ignoring it. There's not a reason that you have to have this kind of protection on hardwired equipment. It's stupid.
Well, let me address that a little bit. This is where I've had a little bit of a problem. First of all, I don't believe there's an outlet there, but we're not going to argue that.
True.
What my point behind it is there was not technical merit submitted, first and foremost. And
True.
then they took and they got a task group together. The task group basically showed that code making panel 2 didn't have the technical merit. And they were showing these breakers tripping left and right, and all these GFCI breakers tripping, and blah blah blah. Nothing was working. They had this whole thing. Then you had members of code making panel 2, and this is not hearsay. I'm not making anything up. This is just a straight out fact. They rejected what the task group did, and then they wrote their own. Then they put a little thing together from some jurisdiction or something,
What
trying.
was that, James? What was that? That was specific NFPA documents from the Standards Council that the code making panel didn't have technical merit to make that change. That's what it was, Jeremy. Go look it up, bro.
Yeah, I even posted it up for y'all, and y'all ignored it. And the interesting thing about that is when they passed the one that they decided to write their own TIA instead of using the task groups, they passed that one, and everybody that was over there, Jeremy, Fritz, all you guys over there, y'all told me, see, they don't agree with you. I said, and Bill knows I said this. I said, you watch when it gets to the Standards Council, they're going to reject that because there's no technical merit, and that's exactly what happened. And then I posted.
I'm gonna respond to Jeremy with 625-54. It's gonna be a really freaking good battle, and 625-54. That's gonna be a battle. Like, I want to see Elon Musk come in there and say he wants his electric vehicle charging equipment on Class A protection, regardless of voltage.
Well,
that's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Regardless of that, my whole point is that it got the Standards Council. They rejected the TIA that was written by Co-Making Panel 2, and they accepted what was done by the task group. And the reason that happened is because the Co-Making Panel 2, the one that they put in, it didn't have technical merit at all. And I said that. And then the task group, the reason it got accepted because it actually had technical merit. And that is actually what happened. That's not any hearsay or anybody trying to pick sides. That's just what happened.
See, and the whole thing is, it's not my claim. It's like nobody has an exact claim. Like we're saying what the code says right now. And the code doesn't say what you say, Jeremy. So, I mean, you could sit there and say that we claim it's going to expand to commercial. I mean, we hope it doesn't, but, I mean, it's not my claim that's going to expand to commercial. It's not King James's claim that's going to expand to commercial. But that's what they're pushing for, 625-54.
Well, I can tell you, because I've been doing this a long time with Dad being his alternate on co-making panels and stuff, and helping when we did the code change books and everything. And, I remember when they started out GFCI protection, I remember Dad specifically stating, just give it a little time, this will move right into commercial and everything else.
Dude, what are, Jeremy is saying the exact same thing what I was saying, that 625-54 doesn't apply just to the dwelling units.
It doesn't.
That's expanding it into commercial. That's exactly what I was saying.
Well, I'm not even really worried about any of that, because when I'm looking at everything, I remember when AFCI protection come out, and I was out doing code change courses and stuff. I remember telling the students that were in there, I said, you watch. I said, before, you give it a couple of cycles, I said, they're going to get to the point where they want it all over the house. Well, what happened? And I look, eventually, AFCI, where's it going to extend into? Commercial. Watch and see. It just keeps expanding. And
AFCI is required in commercial.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is it started
AFCI is like, it's in hotels, it's in dorm rooms, it's in commercial. Like, it's
but that's
not,
my whole point. All of a sudden, we did everything in the house, and then where did it go? And I'm saying it's going to expand into even further commercial, and that's what you're going to see, and you're going to get the same thing. They get something in, and then they try to expand it into other areas, and that's what you're seeing happen. But I'm gonna let that go for now. I think just to give an example of one more thing, it's just like they changed the definition of an outlet.
And that's where we come into must suck to be wrong, because Weedman said that the definition outlet was perfectly clear and didn't need to be changed. So must suck to be wrong, Jeremy.
That's another good point. There is, when they didn't change it, because if you think back about this, what was the guy's name? He was, Mr. Research. What's his name? Generic. Uh,
Don
he
Generic.
submitted a proposal, and all of them guys over there telling me, yeah, he's going to prove you wrong and everything. He is completely rejected. And then they come back after that when it didn't happen, and then they said the definition was perfectly clear, and I said, well, apparently not. And now, if you look at what has happened, now they've tried to change the definition. Well, if it was perfectly clear, why did they have to change the definition? You can't. One thing that I will say that we've done, we stayed consistent on everything we said. We hadn't gone back and forth. That's something, Jeremy and them coming on here and arguing with us and everything. They've jumped back and forth. And and I'll tell you another thing that gets me about that also.
Like, James, the whole thing is that Weedman, he has nothing. He has nothing. Like, you act like you have something, Jeremy, but you have nothing, dude.
I'm not going back looking for everything. Anybody that's been following along with these discussions knows what I'm saying is the truth. I have nothing to gain or lose from it.
King James has never said a switch is an outlet. Never. He said the box the switch is in is the outlet.
Well, let me explain that. Jeremy gave me an installation a long time ago. And he said, well, if I come from a switch and I direct wire to a luminaire, where's the outlet? I said, it's at the switch box. I said, now, if I leave the switch box and I go up there and put an outlet up there, and then I go to that fixture, it's that outlet up there, that's the box. And I said, that's the way I did it. So then he come back and said, oh, you say basically making the claim that I said the switch box is always outlet. I never said that. He gave a specific installation. Well, what was interesting is they came in, and what did code making panel 1 say about a disconnecting means? They said,
now you're going to call King James a liar.
I never said the switch.
You're going to lie about what people said.
That's all right. I said the box is. I've always stated the box is.
And nobody said that, Jeremy.
No, they didn't. That's a lie. Anybody watching this podcast, he's lying. And
404 never contained outlets compared from what Thomas Dimitrovich said that 404 never contained outlets. So we've always.
And let me say, he's wrong too, and I'm going to prove it right here. When you looked at code making panel 1, they come in on this last one on the disconnect, and they said the disconnect can sometimes be the outlet and not be the outlet. Well, there has to be a reason. I just gave you an installation where the box is the outlet right there. The disconnecting means I've never stated is always the outlet. Matter of fact, I argued actually the opposite, because when this first became an issue, and I actually did a podcast for you on the Willie show there, Willie Jackson, I stated that you had Mike, Ryan, and all them saying the load side of the disconnecting means outlet, and I said, no, it didn't. And and then you had Jeremy, all them guys over there at ECD telling me I was a dumbass, our materials suck, I'm a disgrace to the industry, blah, blah, blah. And I said,
King James never claimed the disconnect was outlet.
If
he did, he was joking with you.
I never even joked. Matter of fact, when the argument first started, they claimed that the load side of the disconnecting means was not total no. And God, my witness, everybody can go back and try to find all these threads and everything and see I'm telling the truth. I literally stated, don't show me that yet till I finish. When I stated, I said, if you go look at the definition of a disconnecting means, it says one or more devices. And I said, you go look at a device. I said, based on what y'all's statement is, I could say the circuit breaker was. And Bill knows this
Yeah.
100% fact.
Yep.
It was 2, 3 hours later before they come back, and then they said, well, it's at the AC unit. And I said,
Yeah.
well, I said, is it rated for a weatherproof location? And they said, what the hell's that got to do with it? I said, well, I
100%.
said, if the code is taken over, I got an outlet out there, a box some. I said, it has to be rated for a weatherproof location, doesn't it? Just like the wiring
Yeah.
methods.
True.
Oh, and then they went to the next one, and Ryan said, well, it's where the wiring method connects to the AC. And they change their location all the time. And I said, so basically what you're telling me, it's just free floating in infinite space. It just magically appears out of nowhere.
Dude, 100%. It's an infinite location. You heard it like straight up that they said an outlet is not defined by a location.
Matter of fact, I'll even take a step further. They even took and posted the definition of what infinite was and tried to explain the location based on the definition from the uh, 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 your dictionary. I
Yeah, and
remember it all.
yeah, and the thing that's funny is I showed an actual screenshot from Weed Band in Ryan Jackson's podcast, live podcast, where he was pointing to the disconnects, saying these are outlets, and I don't remember Weedman calling him an idiot, saying he's stupid, saying he don't know what he's talking about. Like, dude, I was in that live stream, and I was like, yeah, everything's right here, you know. And then next thing you know, like I went and did that afterwards with us doing the. Dude, it's actually my fifth. It's my top 5 podcast of all time. Me and you talking about it,
Yep.
and I show both sides of the story. So in my podcast, I actually show Tommy D doing his side of it. There's 10 milliamps of leakage current on the equipment ground at the AC unit and all this stuff. And then it was funny because I went and I asked all these code guys. I was like, so was it the 10 milliamps of leakage current that killed the kid? They're like, nope.
Well, let me go just one thing here, and I want to get back on to what I'm doing. But here's good. It's hilarious how you say he's cussing again, doing what he does best. But let me say, I'm not worked up over anything, uh, and and I know that you're simping, okay, for Mike Ryan and all them, and you're specifically on this particular podcast because I'm showing what we're doing with the learning management system. You ain't showed up in months and months, and all of a sudden you show up. We know what you're doing, Jeremy. You're proving to everybody
True.
exactly everything we've said about you. And
True.
you want to come on here and argue, that's fine. I don't care if you're upset or whatever. But
Yeah.
the thing is, we have our beliefs, and just because we don't align with your beliefs doesn't give you the right to come on here and start calling us names and calling us ignorant F's and all of this stuff. We don't call you that. And
And
uh,
what we are doing is hilarious. It is really hilarious because we have inside jokes. We joke with each other, and we've been doing this since way before you've been making rude comments on my page. And I will show you screenshots, Jeremy, if you want, from the first when I made my page 5 years ago, and you had to come in with rude comments and say questions couldn't be answered and stuff. If you want me to post that, that's totally fine. I have no problem doing that because you're a fucking dickhead.
well, I'll take it just another step further. This is coming from the guy that posted up and said all Texas electricians are glorified bitch stickers. So anyway, calm down, Bill. I wouldn't worry about him. So anyway, let's get back to looking at this. So anyway, we've got all this set up to where you can go in and get the full publications here. I even have it set up here where you come up here to publications. We got the instructor presentation series, and this is the one that comes with the publication and the presentation. Basically the way I set this up, let's say you spend $40 for a publication. If you want the presentation too, we just double the cost and say it's $80. Okay, so it'll be like $79.95. And then the other thing that we've done here is you can also come in here and you can get these as individuals. So let's say I look at the motor series and say you're an instructor and you're teaching a class. You may just want to come in and you want to teach. Let's just say you're wanting to teach troubleshooting. So you can come in and you can purchase this troubleshooting here. And to sort of give you an idea what it looks like and everything, these illustrations we really have put a lot of time and effort into to make them as easy as possible for you to follow. So if I wanted to come in here, you'll notice you can come down here and hit the individual chapters and say you wanted to go look at troubleshooting motor windings and components. Then you've got everything set up right here, and we drew the new testers and everything. But the great thing is you still have all the links here that you can go to real quick to get to the information you want to look at. So say I was wanting to troubleshoot the windings for a Y motor for grounds. You just click right here and we take you through this and tell you how to go about doing that and the type of readings you should see on these readings. So everything is
wow,
here,
Team SOS, man. Team SOS, if you want to jump in, we are doing a Willie quiz.
Yeah, we'll be doing it here in just. I'm about to wrap up, but when you look at all this, I will be setting these publications up here. And say if I look here at the full publication series, when you get to the 2026, I will have these set in here with the 2023, and then I'll have them listed down below. Well, actually, I'll probably move the 2026 up above these, but you'll still have access if you need to go back and get the 2023. So if you look at everything, I think we've done a full banged out job on putting this together. And I just want to say to David and everybody else that made a comment, I appreciate you saying how good everything looked. And you could tell there was a lot of time and effort put into it, because I really care that these instructors and everybody have access. And we've got a thing that's about to happen. I've got a meeting Wednesday with the publisher and everything, and they're about to set up a big thing, a marketing campaign for all the colleges.
He's in the house. What's up, Adam? Adam's in the house. Awesome. No, dude, I was hoping you'd show up. Like I said, I invited Mossy, I invited Rising Rhino, but like I say, Rhino's doing the Avalanche game.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna guess maybe Moss is doing. I know there's like the World Juniors tonight. Hockey,
yeah, he's doing soccer or something.
Oh, soccer. Interesting.
I don't know what it is. Soccer, tennis. I don't know. He does a lot of European stuff. But
yeah, I know. His of all this, among all the sports, his most, he's most fan of is football, like soccer football. So
I want to give you an apology. We've had no Daniel sighting. I even texted Daniel, but you might not have Daniel as your competition tonight. But like I say, King James, this is an easy quiz. Neither of you guys know the topic, so I didn't give Team SOS Adam the advantage. But if you guys get a chance, go check out Team SOS podcast. He is one of the best in the business, and like you will learn a lot about like Jesus and the Bible and stuff. Like if you go in there and you like look at some of his stuff, like it's pretty amazing. Like, dude, it blew me away. I learned a lot. Like going and checking it out. So
appreciate that. I'm still learning too. Like I'm still learning plenty too. I'm just kind of learning as I go, and I just share what I learned. So I appreciate this.
But I have to give big ups. Thanks for your Jets giving up to us on New Year's Eve other night. We were there at the game. We won 5-2.
Oh wait, I should
have Yeah, so that was pretty awesome. That was pretty cool. We won our fifth straight. So we'll
That's
see
pretty
how
good.
we do tonight.
All
Yeah, I
right.
wasn't
But
expecting it.
appreciate you joining in, Adam, and we're gonna go on the Willie quiz.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Let's
Let's do
cue
it.
it
Let's do
up.
it.
All right.
Let me get it
So
on full screen where you can see it better.
yeah, there you go. All right. Question number one: which of the following animals can regenerate their body parts, including the brain and heart? Is it A, octopus? Is it B, global? Is it C, starfish? Or is it D, jellyfish? Shout out to Adam with the mispronunciation. But
No, it's all good.
good luck, everyone.
Well,
I feel like almost all of these. No, I know. I think octopus and starfish. No, sorry. I think octopus and starfish can regenerate. No.
a
Yeah,
starfish
I
can,
mean,
but I actually think I know
I
this
think we
one.
ran this before, maybe, but I mean, I thought
Well,
King James got it right with the exclobial or excobial, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what some of those
well,
things are.
I was actually in Mexico, and we were riding razors, and we actually came across one of these. It was actually a salamander, and uh, I remember. I know it's not, but you got the axolotl, but it's a salamander. That's what we
Mm.
called it. But they said it different, uh, and they were telling me about it, talking about it could regenerate and all that. We were actually out riding some razors, and we went back up in the desert. And I mean, we were just, it was really cool. Then we popped out of there, and then we were running down the beach. Were hanging out there, and they were telling me about it. So I think it's B.
Yeah, I'll go with B as well because I think I think like octopus and jellyfish can regenerate, but I don't know if they can regenerate brains and organs and hearts. I think it's just maybe like arms or testicles.
Yeah.
So I'll go with B as well.
All right, so Weedman wants to see the documentation on my Willie quiz, and you guys are both wrong. It is starfish. So
Really?
B, they could actually regenerate different parts of their body, but not the brain and the heart. So the only one that could do
Oh,
that is the starfish. So
Mm.
there's the documentation, Jeremy. So there we go. All
Okay.
right, question number two. What is the primary purpose of the cat's whiskers? Is it A, to detect smells? Is it B, to help with balance? Is it C, to sense changes in their surroundings? Or is it D, to regulate the body's temperature? Good luck, everyone. All right, so far, you guys are off to a good start. You are on to the exact way I would like you to start the Willie quiz. And
Well,
we have a 0-0 tie so far.
I'm going to assume because I was actually in. Africa. I was in Lagos, and I had to go a couple other places, but that was the main place I was staying. And we saw some tigers and stuff, and they're part of the cat family. And they were telling me about it, and different things. But one of the things I sort of remember, they were talking about their whiskers, and they say cat like reflexes. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's due to their whiskers. It's like you see the cats when there's a snake snaps at them and they just pop away from it or pop it with their paw or something. It's because they
Mm-hmm.
can sense their surroundings much quicker because of them whiskers. So I'm going with C.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think C. I think if among all these answers, I think C pretty much stands out. So to sense there's surroundings and just essentially like the whiskers are it's like sensitive to the cats. So yeah, I'll go for
Hmm.
C as well.
All right. Well, you guys are 100% correct. C is the
Mm.
right answer. So,
Yeah.
good job on question number 2. Question number 3. Which bird is known as having the largest wingspan in the world? Is it A, the wandering albatross? Is it B, the harpy eagle? Is it C, the bald eagle? Or is it C, the California condor? Good luck, everyone.
Well, this is
See,
interesting.
the thing that bothers me is that Daniel. This is an easy quiz for Daniel, and he's not even here. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
we could have got like Daniel could have had this easy. He'd already be up like 2-0. You know, but
Well, the thing
Mm.
we'll
that
see.
gets me on this, you're very specific on the types because I know albatrosses and pelicans, they have the largest wingspans in the world. But these are very specific ones, so one could be more than the other. But I thought an albatross had the longest, and it was a pelican. Um,
And the California condor is like the largest bird in the world, I think. But I don't
Golly,
know about the wingspan, honestly. If how
yeah,
it compares.
I'm gonna go with the wandering albatross because I thought an albatross they got really long wingspans. So do pelicans, but pelican ain't up there, so that would make me think of those. So I'm gonna go with A.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think the albatross is the largest wingspan, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I'll lock in A as well.
Oh man, you guys like took my bait like you wouldn't believe, and you are correct. It
Mm.
is A, the wandering albatross, but
Yeah.
you got it right. But like I say, California condor is number 2. So
That was my second one because I didn't
yeah,
see pelican on there. Pelicans have really long wingspans too, so that you should have put a pelican because that would have really, I think that would have really had us thinking.
all right, yeah, I'll do that as my bullshit answer. Like I didn't have time to do my E answers, but
Oh, I know
I'll do
this
my
one.
E answers next week. I switch them around a little bit. All right, question number 4. What unique trait uh, do male seahorses have that uh, uh, are rare in the animal kingdom? Is it A, they carry and give birth to their young? B, they can camouflage like chameleons? C, they can produce venom in self defense? D, they can communicate through ultrasonic clicks. Good luck, everyone.
Well,
This one should be pretty easy, though. I mean,
I can give you some help here if you don't know it. I, 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 I'll help you out. It would sort of be like talking to some of these college students now that don't know the difference between a man and a woman and could use this as an argument for themselves.
okay. All right.
So that'd be A.
Yeah, A. See, you get perfect. Yeah, A is the answer.
I gave a great analogy there.
All right. I actually agree, and you guys 100% have a 4-0 or a 3-0 record. Got the first one wrong, and a 3
We got
straight
one more.
so far.
More.
Going
But
into
also,
question number 5. So
seahorses can also camouflage themselves too, but that's
yeah,
not. But that's not the unique trait.
it's not like a chameleon though.
Yeah. So
All right, question number 5. Which of these animals is not a mammal? Is it A, platypus? Is it B, extranda? I always take a page out of Adam's playbook by not being able to pronounce things. Extinda. C, penguin. D, dolphin. Good luck, everyone. I'm like, step 1, learn what an ascenda is.
well, I'm sitting there. I'm trying to think here. I know a platypus and dolphin are mammals, but if I'm not mistaken, I don't know what an echidna is. This is true, but I thought the penguin was in the bird category.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with C. I think the penguin's it's in the bird category, and I don't think it's a mammal.
Yeah, no, the answer should be C because, yeah, you're correct. Penguins are birds; they're not mammals. So
Okay, that's what I thought.
yeah. So C should be the answer. Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a really good revelation for you guys. Congratulations, Adams! You are the winner of tonight's Willie Quiz because you tied with King James, and a tie is a win for our guest of the night. So
That's bullshit. He's supposed to have another question to answer here. You're supposed to have another extra answer there to go for.
Thanks so much, Adam, for showing up and beating King James for a second time in a row. And like I say, tie goes to the guest always. And King James actually, I put a vote up, and King James voted that was okay.
Oh,
so
thank you.
He said he was gonna get 5 for 5 every night, and I was like, all right, prove it. And so he did a good job.
I've come to the conclusion, Adam, I have more ties than I do wins or losses combined.
No, it's so much fun to get guys like you on, and appreciate you, Adam. You're a badass. Everyone out there, go check out Team SOS. Go check out Rising Rhino. We always bring everyone up on our podcast, and thanks so much for joining us and hanging out and competing in the Willie Quiz. And like I say, you're always welcome. We'll try to do it every week a little bit better. And like I say, I'll try to make them easier for King James and like harder for you. But I know that's going to be impossible because, you know, everyone has to copy Daniel's answer. And too bad Daniel didn't show up tonight. But.
Yeah, if Daniel's here, it's pretty much a safe bet that everyone's going to be a winner at the end.
Yeah, see? There you go. All right. Well, I appreciate you. And like I say, I'll see you over there on your next stream, sir.
That's good. Thank you so much, guys.
Hey, later.
All right. Later.
All right, one more thing. Wall of shame. Let's throw it down.
Let's do it.
Shame. 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 Shame.
Oh, dude, you'll love this one, man. When I saw it, I was like, what is going on here?
Oh,
Oh, man, the old corner ground clamp pinch
Wow.
move. Like,
he just got enough in there. Just sorry, I accidentally clicked on it. My bad.
yeah, I was like, what?
He just got enough in there where he could get a few little strands in there.
So, you know what this one reminds me of is when we were talking about that concrete encased electrode and they're running like these large conductors to them and then you're not terminating it correctly. Like, what's the difference between that and a freaking number 6?
Wow, that is something what they
You
did
know?
there. Wow.
I'd rather have a number 6 wrapped around that screw than that.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
And
Wow.
it's not properly terminated.
Well, it just goes to show. That's one of the reasons I like the wall shame, because you see some of the terrible type of wiring that is done.
I like seeing how that screw's all rusted and stuff. Like, you could tell that screw's never been tight in its life, you know?
Wow, that's sort of amazing.
Yeah.
So,
But
well,
no, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for everyone coming in here, posting comments. Oh yeah, I post them in the we got them posted up in the comments here. So appreciate you, Weed Man, coming in here. You know, like everyone coming in, you know, having fun with us. And like I say, it means a lot that we get all the comments up in here and get Adam joining in. You know, check out Team SOS. Like, he has a really good podcast. He does a lot of Jesus stuff, and he does real big life coach specialist. You know, like that kind of stuff's really cool. Like if you're having hard times or whatever, jump over to Adam, and like I say, it's really cool. Team SOS. It's like pretty cool.
all right, let's wrap it up. We're almost at 2 hours. Get out of here and I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'm hungry.
All right, sounds good. All
All
right.
Well, everybody, have a good week. We'll see some of y'all Monday for Monday Morning Coach. And with that said, make every day an easy day. I got your line there.
And as always, have a good week, everyone, and make every day an easy day too, just like King James says. So
That's right. And
appreciate you.
one more thing.
Thanks for
Happy New Year to
stealing my
everybody.
line, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. And Happy New Year to everybody.
Yep. Happy New Year, everyone.
All right. Peace. See y'all next week.